Hey everyone, welcome back to Senior Care Insights. Today we're taking a deep dive into something I know a lot of you are interested in: longevity after 70.
It's a topic that's near and dear to my heart.
And we're going to be uncovering some fascinating research-backed signs of longevity that might surprise you.
You know, we often think of longevity as this big, complex mystery,
Right.
but research is showing us that simple observations about our daily lives can be surprisingly accurate indicators of how well we're aging.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit.
Sure.
Let's start with something as basic as walking can. How fast you walk really tell us something about how long you'll live.
It really can.
Okay.
It turns out your walking speed after 70 is a strong predictor of your lifespan.
Interesting.
When you think about it, walking speed reflects a lot about your health, like your muscle strength, how well your heart and lungs are working, even how your brain is functioning.
So it's more than just being able to get around the block.
Exactly. It's about maintaining that brisk, steady pace.
Okay.
Researchers have found that people who can walk at a speed of about 3 kilometers per hour tend to live longer.
Wow.
And it's not just about speed itself, it's
Yeah.
a reflection of your overall resilience.
Resilience, that ability to bounce back from challenges.
Right, exactly.
I'm starting to see how that could be so crucial for longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little more about how walking speed connects to resilience.
Well, let's think about what it takes to maintain a good walking speed.
Okay.
You need strong muscles and bones, right?
Makes sense.
A healthy cardiovascular system, good balance and coordination.
Yeah,
These are all elements of resilience that help you navigate life's ups and downs as you age.
that makes a lot of sense. But what about those who maybe have slowed down a bit?
Sure.
Is that a sign that they're destined for a shorter lifespan?
Not at all. And that's what's so empowering about this knowledge.
So?
Even if you've noticed yourself slowing down, adding more walks into your routine, maybe doing some strength training, even simple leg exercises can make a difference. Right.
It's about taking those proactive steps to boost your resilience.
I love that. So it's like a little self-check you can do. How's my walking pace?
Exactly.
Can I step it up a bit? Okay, I love that. And speaking of strength,
Yeah.
I've heard grip strength is another surprising indicator of longevity.
You're absolutely right.
Really?
Surprising as it may sound, a firm, steady grip is linked to longer life. It's another window into your overall vitality.
Wait, so how strongly I can shake someone's hand relates to how long I might live?
Believe it or not, yes.
Wow.
A strong grip reflects strong muscles, good circulation, and a healthy nervous system,
Okay.
all essential for staying active and independent as we age.
So a weak grip isn't just an inconvenience. It could actually be a warning sign.
It could be an early indicator of muscle loss frailty and a higher risk of health issues down the line.
Got it.
It's something to pay attention to, but again, it's not set in stone.
Okay.
Just like walking speed grip strength is something you can work on.
That's good to hear. So what can people do to improve their grip strength? Well, some simple things, really.
Okay.
Squeezing a tennis ball, using hand grippers, even just carrying light weights as you go about your day can help maintain your grip and keep those muscles strong. It's about incorporating little strength-building activities into your routine.
I like that it's encouraging to know that these everyday actions, things we might not even think twice about,
Right?
can actually offer insights into our health and longevity. What else should we be paying attention to?
Let's talk about balance.
Okay.
You might not immediately think of it as connected to longevity, but research has found a strong connection there. People who can stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds tend to live longer.
Now that one really caught me off guard. What's the connection between standing on one leg and a longer life?
Well, good balance requires a few key things. Strong legs,
Right.
a sharp nervous system, and a healthy brain.
Okay.
All of those are crucial for avoiding falls as we age.
So it's not just about preventing a stumble here and there.
It's much bigger than that. Falls are a major concern as we get older.
Right.
Maintaining good balance helps you maintain your independence and stay active longer, which in turn contributes to a healthier, longer life.
I see. So we're looking at these seemingly simple actions as reflections of our overall health and resilience.
Exactly. And the great thing is
Yeah.
balance, just like walking speed and grip strength, is something you can improve.
That's great to hear.
Incorporate simple exercises like standing on one foot while you brush your teeth, maybe walking heel to toe or practicing Tai Chi.
Right.
They might seem small, but they can have a big impact on your balance and your longevity.
This is making me think about how all these seemingly separate aspects of our health are actually interconnected. Does this idea of resilience play a role in other areas of longevity like sleep, for example?
Absolutely. Sleep is often overlooked, but it's one of the foundations of resilience and longevity. It's when your body gets to work repairing itself, boosting your immune system, and even clearing out toxins from your brain.
Now that you mention it, I've heard a lot about the importance of sleep.
Right.
But what's the specific link to longevity after 70? Is it just about getting enough hours, or is there more to it than that?
Quality matters just as much as quantity, especially after 70.
Oh.
Studies show people in this age group who consistently get high-quality sleep, that deep restorative sleep, tend to live longer, healthier lives. On the other hand, consistently poor sleep puts you at higher risk for all sorts of things: cognitive decline, heart disease, a weaker immune system.
Wow, that's a powerful reminder to prioritize sleep. But what does good sleep even look like after 70?
Right.
I know a lot of people struggle with getting a full night's rest as they age.
It's true. Sleep patterns can change as we get older, but aiming for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is still the ideal.
Okay.
Even if you're not hitting that number every night, focusing on improving the quality of your sleep can make a huge difference.
So it's not just about counting sheep, it's about making sure those sheep are leading you to deep, restful sleep. So what are some things people can do to improve their sleep quality?
Well, there are lots of practical steps you can take.
Okay.
Try reducing screen time before bed. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine, maybe a warm bath or some light reading.
Right.
And of course, talk to your doctor if you're having persistent trouble sleeping.
This makes me think about another key aspect of health, what we eat.
Right.
After all, you are what you eat, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So what role does diet and appetite play in longevity after 70?
It's definitely a key piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Maintaining a healthy appetite and eating a balanced diet becomes even more important for longevity as we age.
So it's not just about eating our veggies.
Right.
It's about making sure our bodies are getting what they need to really thrive in later life.
Exactly.
What are some specific things people should be paying attention to?
Well, as we age, our metabolism slows down. We might lose muscle mass.
Okay.
And it can become harder for our bodies to absorb all the nutrients from food. That's why it's so important to focus on nutrient-dense foods and stay attuned to your body's signals.
What do you mean by staying attuned to your body's signals?
Pay attention to changes in your appetite or any sudden weight loss.
Okay.
These can be red flags that something's off and it's worth talking to your doctor.
Right.
It could be something simple or it could be a sign of an underlying health issue.
That's a good reminder to be proactive about our health. We've talked about physical strength and diet. But what about the mental and emotional side of things? Does how we manage stress after 70 impact longevity?
Absolutely. Chronic stress is like a silent thief, gradually robbing you of health and vitality. It weakens your immune system, increases your risk of heart disease, and even speeds up the aging process.
Stress is such a part of modern life, though.
It is.
How can people in this age group learn to manage it more effectively? What are some practical strategies?
Well, the good news is that even simple things can make a big difference.
Okay.
Deep breathing exercises.
Spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Pursuing hobbies that bring you joy. And staying connected with loved ones all play a role.
So it's not about avoiding stress altogether, but rather finding those healthy ways to cope and recharge.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's about building resilience, both physically and mentally.
Okay.
And speaking of resilience, we can't overlook the power of social connection. There's a growing body of research showing that strong social ties are a major contributor to a longer, healthier life.
I can see how feeling connected and supported could have a positive impact on our mental and emotional well-being. But what's the scientific link between social connections and living longer?
There's a fascinating interplay between our social lives and our biology. When we interact with others, especially in meaningful ways, our brains stay active and engaged.
Okay.
Our bodies release hormones that boost our mood and even strengthen our immune system. So it's not just about avoiding loneliness. It's about actively seeking out connection and nurturing those relationships that bring us joy and support.
Precisely. Human connection is woven into the fabric of a long and healthy life. And it brings us to another important aspect of longevity that might surprise you.
All right, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
What's next on our longevity checklist?
We've been talking about this idea of resilience and how important it is in various aspects of life after 70. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your mindset, like your attitude towards aging itself, can actually impact how long and how well you live.
Wait, are you telling me that how I think about getting older can actually affect my physical health?
It might sound surprising, but there's a growing body of research that shows that our mindset plays a huge role in our overall well-being and longevity.
Okay.
Studies have shown that people who have a more positive outlook on aging tend to live longer and have fewer health issues.
So if you dread getting older and focus on limitations, you're more likely to experience those negative aspects of aging.
It's not quite as straightforward as that, but our beliefs and expectations about aging can definitely influence our behaviors and even how our bodies function. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy,
Yeah.
If you believe that aging is all downhill, you might be less likely to engage in activities that actually support your health.
That makes sense. If you view aging as a time of decline and loss, you're probably less motivated to eat well, exercise, or stay socially connected.
Right.
But if you see it as a time for continued growth and new experiences, you're more likely to make choices that support those goals.
Exactly. It's about embracing the journey, not fearing the destination. A positive attitude towards aging can fuel healthier choices and contribute to a longer, more fulfilling life.
This is giving me a whole new perspective on aging. It's not about desperately trying to stay young, but about embracing each stage of life with a sense of optimism and, I guess, recognizing that we have more control than we often realize.
I couldn't agree more, and this positive outlook extends beyond individual mindset. The social and cultural context we age in also plays a significant role in how we experience those later years.
You mean how societies view and treat older adults?
Exactly. In some cultures, older adults are revered for their wisdom and experience, while in others, they might be marginalized or seen as a burden.
Right.
And in cultures that value and respect older adults, they tend to feel a greater sense of purpose and belonging, which we know contributes to well-being and longevity.
So it's about creating communities and societies that support older adults and recognize the unique contributions they bring to the table.
Absolutely. It's about shifting our collective perspective on aging as a whole.
This conversation is really highlighting how multifaceted longevity is. It's not just about genetics or luck. It's about this complex interplay between our physical health, our mindset, our social connections, even the cultural environment we live in.
Absolutely. It's this beautiful tapestry woven together by all these different threads.
I love that analogy.
And the more we understand about these interconnected elements, the more empowered we become to take proactive steps toward a longer, healthier life.
That's so true. And speaking of proactive steps,
Yes.
there's another fascinating area of research that sheds light on longevity, the role of our gut microbiome.
It might sound surprising, but those trillions of bacteria that live in our digestive system have a much bigger impact on our health and longevity than we ever realize.
Our gut microbiome. I've heard a lot about gut health lately, but what does it have to do with how long we live?
Well, they influence everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to our immune system and even brain health.
Wow, so these tiny organisms living in our gut can actually affect how long we live.
That's right. Research is showing that people who live longer tend to have a more diverse and balanced gut microbiome.
So it's not just about what we eat, but also about the health of these tiny ecosystems within us. So how do we support a healthy gut microbiome?
Diet plays a major role. Eating a diet rich in fiber, which you can get from fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, acts like a feast for the beneficial bacteria in your gut.
So those old adages about eating your fruits and veggies, we're onto something after all. But is there anything we should avoid when it comes to gut health?
Highly processed foods, sugary drinks, and artificial sweeteners can wreak havoc on the balance of your gut microbiome. They can encourage the growth of harmful bacteria and lead to inflammation, which we know is linked to all sorts of age-related issues.
It's a reminder that what we eat has a ripple effect throughout our entire system. So feeding our gut with the right foods can have a huge positive impact on our overall health and longevity.
Right.
But it's not just about diet, is it? Didn't you mention stress can impact our gut microbiome as well?
You have a great memory. Chronic stress can disrupt the balance of bacteria in our gut, leading to inflammation and other problems.
So it all comes back to what we were talking about earlier, the importance of managing stress for a longer, healthier life. It's like everything is connected.
Exactly. Our bodies are incredibly complex and interconnected systems. Everything we do, the foods we eat, how we manage stress, the quality of our sleep, even the relationships we nurture. They all play a role in shaping our overall health and longevity.
It's a powerful reminder to take a holistic approach to our well-being. It's not about focusing on one single thing, but about recognizing that all these aspects of our lives are intertwined.
Precisely. And this interconnectedness takes us to another fascinating area of research that's revolutionizing our understanding of aging epigenetics.
Epigenetics, that sounds a bit intimidating. Can you break that down for us?
It's simpler than it sounds. Essentially, epigenetics is the study of how our environment and lifestyle choices can actually change the way our genes express themselves.
Wait, so you're telling me that our genes aren't necessarily our destiny, that we can influence how they work?
Exactly. Our genes provide the blueprint, but our environment and choices act like switches, turning certain genes on or off.
Okay.
Think of it like this. You have a book of recipes, but you choose which ones to cook based on your preferences and what ingredients you have available.
Okay, that's a great analogy. So it's not just about the genes we inherit. It's about how we interact with our environment and the choices we make throughout our lives. That's incredibly empowering. It means we have more control over our health and longevity than we often realize.
Absolutely. And this brings us to the exciting part, understanding how lifestyle choices can impact our epigenetics and potentially influence our lifespan.
This is all so fascinating, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
What are some examples of these lifestyle choices that can impact our epigenetics?
Well, many of the things we've already talked about fall into this category. What you eat, how much you exercise, the quality of your sleep, how you manage stress, even the strength of your social connections. All of these can impact how your genes express themselves.
So it's like we're actively writing our own health story through the choices we make every day.
Exactly. And that story is constantly being rewritten. It's a dynamic process, which is both exciting and a bit daunting. It means we have the power to make positive changes at any age, and it's never too late to start investing in our well-being.
This is a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly hopeful. It means aging doesn't have to be a passive process of decline. We have the ability to shape our own aging journey.
I couldn't agree more, and that's a key takeaway. I hope people will remember aging is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It's a dynamic, multifaceted journey that's influenced by a wide range of factors.
So there's no single formula for longevity. It's about finding what works best for each individual based on their unique circumstances and goals.
Exactly. And it's about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns, recognizing that aging isn't a destination, but a continuous process of growth, adaptation, and discovery.
I love that perspective. It's about approaching aging with a sense of curiosity, optimism, and a willingness to explore new possibilities.
Well said. It's about challenging those age-old stereotypes that define aging as a period of decline. It's about reclaiming the narrative and shaping our own experience.
That's such a powerful message. But with all this talk about individual choices, how do we address the broader societal factors that impact how we age?
That's a crucial point. We can't talk about longevity without acknowledging the influence of the communities and cultures we live in,
Right.
the support systems, the attitudes towards aging, the opportunities for engagement and purpose. They all play a role.
So it's not just about individual responsibility, it's about creating environments that support healthy aging.
Exactly. It's about fostering communities that value the wisdom and experience of older adults, providing access to resources and opportunities, and promoting a culture of inclusivity and respect.
This conversation has been so enlightening. I feel like I have a much deeper understanding of the many factors that contribute to a long and fulfilling life after 70, but I have a feeling we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating topic.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? And there's always more to learn and explore. The field of aging research is constantly evolving, and it's an exciting time to be diving into this subject.
Well, before we move on to our final segment, are there any key takeaways you want to leave our viewers with?
I want people to walk away feeling empowered. Aging isn't this predetermined path we're forced to follow.
Yeah.
We have more agency than we often realize.
It's such a powerful message of hope and possibility. It's about recognizing that we have the ability to shape our own aging journey.
Exactly. And that journey is about so much more than just extending our lifespan. It's about living those years to the fullest with purpose, joy, and a sense of vitality.
Beautifully said. Well, stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back soon with our final segment where we'll dive into even more practical tips and insights for maximizing longevity after 70. Welcome back to Senior Care Insights. We've been having this great conversation about longevity after 70 and all the different factors that come into play.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the science of aging to the power of mindset to those vital social connections and even the role our gut bacteria play.
It's really amazing how much we're learning about the aging process. But I think for a lot of people, it can be a bit overwhelming, with all this information. Where do we even begin? Like, if we really want to prioritize longevity, what are the most impactful areas to focus on?
That's a great question. And, there's no single magic bullet for a longer life. But if I had to pick the most impactful areas, I'd say start with movement.
Movement. Okay, we talked about walking speed earlier, but it sounds like it deserves even more attention.
Absolutely. Regular physical activity is like the bedrock of longevity. And the best part is it doesn't need to be strenuous or complicated. Even moderate activity, brisk walking, gardening, swimming, dancing, these can all have a huge positive impact on your health and well-being.
So it's more about finding activities that you genuinely enjoy, something you can stick with and incorporate into your routine.
Exactly. Movement should bring you joy and energy, not feel like a chore. And it's never too late to start. Even if you haven't been active in years, beginning with small steps and gradually building up can make a world of difference.
So we've got movement at the top of the list. What else should we be thinking about?
Nourishment. What we eat plays a significant role in how well we age. A diet that's full of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and those good healthy fats provides those essential building blocks for a healthy body and a healthy mind.
So it seems like we're going back to basics here, right? Those tried and true principles of a balanced and colorful diet.
Exactly. And it's not only about what we eat, but being mindful of how much we eat and cutting back on processed foods, sugary drinks, and the bad fats that can really undermine our health.
All right, movement, nourishment. What's next on the list?
Sleep. We touched on this before and how vital it is for our bodies to repair and rejuvenate, but it's worth repeating. Try to get 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep each night. It gives your body time to rest and rebuild and get ready for the day ahead.
Seems like quality sleep becomes even more crucial as we get older.
You're right. It's not just about the quantity, but about that deep restorative sleep.
What can people do if they're having trouble sleeping? Especially if it's becoming harder to get a good night's rest.
There are simple things that can help. A lot of people find a relaxing bedtime routine makes a big difference. A warm bath, reading a good book, listening to calming music, avoiding caffeine and alcohol late in the day can also help. And make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool for sleeping. These small adjustments can really have a noticeable effect on your sleep.
I think it's really amazing how these small, almost everyday choices and habits can really have a big impact on our health and longevity.
Absolutely.
And speaking of those everyday choices, I want to bring up stress management again. Chronic stress.
Yeah.
It really does a number on us, doesn't it?
It does. It's like a low-grade fire burning inside us, slowly but surely chipping away at our health and vitality.
So finding ways to deal with stress, cope with it in healthy ways is crucial, not just for our mental health, but for our longevity too.
Absolutely. And there are so many different ways to manage stress, whether it's through mindfulness, spending time in nature, hobbies that bring you joy, or connecting with loved ones. Finding what helps you to de-stress and recharge is really essential for living a longer, healthier life.
And that brings us back to the power of social connections, which we've talked about a lot today.
It's a recurring theme for a reason.
Right. It seems like it all comes back to connection.
It does.
So nurturing strong social ties really is one of the most important things we can do for our well-being.
It's true. Feeling loved, supported, and connected contributes to our mental, emotional, and physical well-being in profound ways. And remember, those connections can come in so many different forms: spending time with family and friends, joining clubs or groups, volunteering, even having a pet. It's about finding the connections that make you feel alive and engaged with the world.
It reminds us that we're not meant to go through this journey alone. And before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the idea of purpose and meaning in life. How does that tie in with longevity?
Having a sense of purpose, something that motivates you, something that makes you feel like your life has value, this is incredibly important for our overall well-being and longevity.
It makes sense. Feeling like you have something to contribute to your family, your community, the world at large. It gives you that sense of fulfillment and drive.
Exactly. It's about finding those things that make you passionate, those things that light you up inside, and pursuing them with everything you've got. Whether it's volunteering, being a mentor, exploring creative pursuits, or just spending quality time with the people you love, finding your purpose can really fuel a longer and more fulfilling life.
This conversation has been so insightful. We've learned so much about the factors that contribute to a long and healthy life after 70. It feels like we've been given a roadmap, not just for living longer, but for living better.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, it's not about being perfect or trying to turn back the clock. It's about embracing this journey of aging with all its ups and downs and finding joy and meaning in each and every day.
I love that. It's about living life to the fullest, no matter what your age may be.
That's it. Aging isn't a decline. It's a process, a transformation, a time for adaptation and possibility.
This deep dive into longevity has been truly eye-opening. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been a pleasure.
And to everyone watching, we hope you found this conversation as inspiring as we have. Remember, it's never too late to start making positive changes. Small, consistent effort is what matters. It can have a huge impact.
That's right. Embrace this journey. Make choices that are good for you and find joy in each day.
If you like this deep dive, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more conversations about aging well. And leave a comment below. Tell us what you think.
We love hearing from you.
Until next time, take care of yourselves.